That's right, Yubel support is here. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Yubel support, yeah, Phantom Nightmare, who would have guessed that, with Yubel being the literal, driving force between the original Phantom Darkness set, it would only be very appropriate that if we're pulling this name back out of the graves of the literal depths of hell, that, we would bring Yubel support back. So, we do have our start here to Yubel. So now you have a reason to run Super Poly in your Yubel deck. So Spirit of Yubel here. Does this feel very familiar to anybody? Spirit of Neos? Spirit of Neos, yeah. It's definitely a callback to Spirit of Neos here on a level 10 Dark Fiend monster. So Spirit of Yubel, you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. So when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. I hate that clause, but I understand that we have it. If this card is special summon, you can take one spell and trap card from your deck that mentions Yubel and either add it to your hand or set it. Okay, well that's not too terrible. I mean, on special summon, it's a free search. Okay, this thing cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. Okay, well, that's pretty standard, I feel like, at this point in time. And if this card is destroyed, you can special summon one of your Yubel that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. Ah, so this does float into Yubel. This is actually, not a terrible card. If anything, I mean, it's a special summon searches for anything that mentions Yubel in and itself, and that's not too terrible at the end of the day. It's definitely got a lot going for it. Also, we have 6 Yubel names now. That's very important. Next up is Geist Grinder Golem. And, yeah, you gotta love the fact that here we are. This is a 3,300. Oh, boy. You can reveal, you only special summon one of these once per turn. You can reveal a Yubel in your hand, alright? Special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field, and then you can special summon the revealed monster to your field. So this gives you the ability to beam out that big Yubel that you just revealed to your field. Once per turn, during damage calculation, this card battles a Yubel monster. Your opponent gains 3,000 life points. Hey, while this is on your opponent's field, they're just going to hand you 3,000 life points. I'll take it. If you special summon a Yubel while this card is in your graveyard, special summon this card to your opponent's field. This is actually not bad. Gaisu here might also mean to invoke damage, harm, gouge, as well as referencing the word Geist for German ghost. So yeah, it's effectively just enjoy the card, give me some free life points. Now this card is, this is a good card right here. Samsara Lotus. Of course we had to get a new Samsara Lotus. It made sense. Level 1 Dark Fiend monster. You only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name once per turn. So you contribute this card, special summon a Yubel from your deck. Yeah, we needed that. Alright, congratulations. We once again got another Lone Fire Blossom. During your opponent's turn, when a monster effect is activated while you control a Yubel monster, quick effect, you contribute this card. That effect becomes destroy one Yubel monster on your field. So we're back to that replacement effect shenanigans that we've seen in the past, which is actually pretty good. And during your end phase, if you control a Yubel, and this card is in your graveyard, you can take this card and either add it to your hand or special summon it. So really good about that. I mean, so you Lone Fire out, deploy the Yubel. During the end phase, this comes back, giving you the replacement effect to have your Yubel popped. And then, you'll be able to climb on up into the ranks of the other parts of the depths of hell. Alright, so this is Yubel. I think this should be the Love Yubel here. Also love the little hand that we have going on here for this. And of course, this is a level 12 Dark Fiend monster. So it's a Yubel plus 1+ effect monsters on the field. It was very appropriate that they had to actually make this because, they want you to be able to tie in Super Poly to this. So you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So if this card is Fusion Summon, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each fusion material used for its summon. I'm gonna be honest with you, if this was just 1+ effect monster, I really wanted to do some chain material shenanigans with it, but they restricted it to the field. So, understandable. Have a nice day. I just wanted to be able to burn my opponent for some free damage, but okay. This thing cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and you take no damage from battles involving this card. And if this card battles an opponent's monster at the end of the damage step, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack, and if you do, banish it. The German is roughly for the Eternal Love Watcher. So, I mean, any Yubel monster makes this. You have a burn-esque effect on top of pressuring the opponent with this. I think the card's pretty decent. Alright, is it going to game break Yubel? No. Well, I mean, it does game break Yubel in the sense it makes it a viable deck, but still at the end of the day, it's Yubel. You know what I mean? Next up is the Nightmare Pain. And this is on a continuous spell card. So, you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So, during your main phase, you can destroy a dark monster in your hand or face up on the field. And you do add a Yubel or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand except for Phantom Nightmare, except for Nightmare Pain. So, technically, this is just Fire King Island for what we were, or excuse me, Draconic Diagram with the old Yubel stuff. You just blow up the Yubel in your hand, and you're like, oh, hey, congratulations, it floats. While you control any Yubel monsters, all monsters your opponent must attack if able. So yeah, they're going to have to slam into those Yubels. And then when you would take battle damage from battles involving your Yubel monsters instead. So your opponent's going to take anything that you would be taking from those battles. I think that part's hilarious. Next up is, you guessed it, Mature Chronicle. It's a Spell Chronicle remake. Konami had to leave us with this. So you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So each time a Yubel monsters and or monsters that mention Yubel is special summoned, place one Chronicle counter on this card. So our second effect, you can move up to 5 Chronicle counters from this card to activate the following effect. So 1, we can special summon a Yubel from the graveyard. 2, we can add one of your banished cards to your hand. That adds anything, by the way. That's not restricted. You can banish one card from your deck. You can destroy one card on the field for 4. Why is that so restrictive? Or you can add one super polymerization from your deck to your hand by removing 5. That's pretty costly at the end of the day, but I think this card's kind of cute. And then we have Eternal Favorite. Guess what? It has favorite in the name. So, once per turn, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each of the following effects of this card's name once per turn. Special summon one Yubel monster that is banished or in your graveyard. Neither player can activate cards or effects when it is special summoned. Alright, that's not bad. If you control a Yubel, discard one card, send this card in your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard. If you summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters with either field as material, including a Yubel monster, that's actually pretty decent here. So, what do you think about the interesting tie-ins that we've got going on here? I like what I'm seeing, so please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.